So my name is Kristi Arbogast. A lot of you know me. I work at OpenGovHub doing comms and operations. Tonight I'm going to talk about something I'm really passionate about, is why your smart fridge shouldn't tell you what to eat. The Internet of Things and algorithmic accountability. Okay, so besides sending you all emails or fixing the coffee machine, I spend a lot of my time learning about the internet, society, governance, and the flow of information and its impacts. Some of my topics of research have been internet freedom, digital security, and internet governance. I see these different areas combining within the topic of the Internet of Things. So we need to change how we're thinking about the internet. It's all around us and it can't be ignored. Bruce Schneider says that the internet is no longer a web that we connect to. Instead, it's a computerized, networked, and interconnected world that we live in. So we need to think about what is the Internet of Things. 3 parts. Part 1 is the sensors, and these are the devices that are collecting the data. They're the eyes and ears of the internet. Part 2 is the processors, the brain of the internet that analyze the data. Then part 3 is the actuators that act on this data, and they're the hands and feet of the internet. It can't be that big of a deal, can it? Well, currently there's 7.1 billion people and 8.4 billion connected devices. By 2020, the number is going to jump to 20.4 billion connected devices. I mean, smart cars, smart thermostats, smart fridges, Fitbits, you name it. Internet of Things is going to be huge. So let's make sure we know what an algorithm is first. In its most basic form, it's a step-by-step operation to be followed in calculations and analyses by computers. The algorithms determine how data will be analyzed and how the outputs of that analysis will change the environment and how the device is working. So some algorithms are good, but we must remember that algorithms are not value neutral. Algorithms have human biases in them because they've been designed by humans. Plus, we need to remember who controls the algorithms. It's not me and it's not you. It's these large corporations who are out to make a profit, mostly operating basis. So we need to start asking ourselves who controls the public sphere in the era of the algorithm. We're living in an algorithmically created filter bubble that determine what we see, what we buy, and the search results we get. So algorithms are a gatekeeper without check. So is it hopeless? Are we just going to have to receive the services of these corporations, or are we just going to have to give in to their algorithms? And should we leave it up to governments and corporations to just self-police? I think that's pretty naive to believe so. So there is hope. When you talk about the internet, you have to talk about algo art. So anyways, the concept of algorithmic accountability is still fairly new, but it's an area that will be growing in importance. So tonight I'm going to tell you about 4 different methods of algorithmic accountability. The first is on design, and then the next 3 are about after-the-fact accountability for algorithms that already exist. First method is on the principles for accountable algorithm design. So the first principle deals with responsibility. So who's held to account for the algorithm? Are there grievance mechanisms in place? And if there are, who follows up on those grievances? The second principle for creating accountable algorithms is to have clear and simple algorithms that people can understand, and to have accurate and truthful data that goes into the algorithm and that also comes out of the algorithm. And then the fourth principle for algorithmic accountable design is auditability. So will there be third parties involved or internal bodies that will audit it? And how fair is the data? So this method is somewhat difficult because you have to have agreed upon standards and create incentives to make people want to follow the standards. So this method could be difficult. So the next method is algorithmic accountability journalism. And data scientists, journalists can sometimes reverse engineer algorithms. But again, this is a time-consuming method that should only be used for more serious infractions for algorithmic accountability. And the next method, so the tech industry has long fought off government regulations because it can curb innovation and harm their proprietary information. But we shouldn't just leave it up to the self-regulation that these companies say they're going to do. So this is where the next method comes in. This is my favorite. This is watchdog algorithms. So these are open source and transparent algorithms that can be used to monitor the closed and proprietary algorithms. This method counteracts the hurdle of private algorithms. So we can monitor the closed algorithms to make sure that they're acting fairly and justly. And the last method of accountability would be creating a regulatory watchdog body or an ombudsman of some type. So this monitor algorithms against certain agreed upon standards. But the problem is algorithms are complex, changeable, and unpredictable, particularly with machine and deep learning. So why does this matter for the Open Gov movement? We're going to see an increased convergence of the IoT and algorithmic governance. Laws and regulations will be coded into software, and smart sensors will monitor them. It can't just be about accountable outputs. It has to be the data collection and analysis needs to be open and accountable. So let's try and prevent Skynet from creating the Terminator and Big Brother from monitoring everything. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves. And bonus points to anyone who can tell me what movie that line is from. So that's it. Thank you very much, everybody.